Take 91. Right into the first subject, because I'm going to have to start getting used to this new format that I have announced in the last Tino take, and I'm noticing that this is not something that I can easily get used to, but restructuring the SmartCast. Okay, now in the last Tino take, I announced that I will be shortening the segments. And so this is going to take a little bit of mental gymnastics and a little bit of practice on my part to get used to this, but it helps now that I just kind of jot down the subjects. Two, I'm just going to go for two today and then see what happens. But I'm going to start by saying this and just kind of putting it out there, what I'm working on and how I'm planning on changing this SmartCasting around. Okay, so restructuring SmartCasts. Now that I'm breaking things down into segments, which I already did, but then I kind of created many segments to create one big show. And now I'm starting to see the advantages of creating the smaller segments, because then I'm able to do more, concentrate more on the particular issues, and actually include some other SmartCasts. So what I'm thinking now is that each of the SmartCasts will have a particular kind of dedication. The Tino take always remains universal, always remains open, so that I can be free to just kind of grab whatever issue that needs to be grabbed. And as I've said in the past, not corner me into things. But I'll have to look around for that now. I'll either have to come up with an issue or maybe just kind of free flow it, go with it. But I'm seeing now that with structuring these smaller sessions now means that I can do things differently. And I think I can get a little bit more creative with this. So what I'm looking at now is that now that there are different types of SmartCasts that I'm putting out there, I'm considering doing a kind of a schedule, not a fixed schedule as in time and date, but maybe something like do the Tino take now. The next SmartCast will be maybe gene codes, and then the next SmartCast Toccatino in Italian, and then the next one. Actually, I'm not going to announce that, but there's a new SmartCast coming out. I was going to announce it now, but there's another new SmartCast that I'm going to put out. And then, of course, there's Italy Live, which is co-hosted with other people. So I still don't know how that's going to fit into this new restructuring that I'm working on with the SmartCasts. So what I'll do is I'll have that list and I'll kind of try to stick to. This is also something that I'm doing to aesthetically make my D2 page look a little nicer, because I have two shows that have a similar image, the Tino take and Toccatino, because they're mirrors of each other. Basically, what I do with one in English, I do the same thing in Italian, so it kind of mirrors each other. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to space it in such a way that the image is different. So the gene codes image is always different, and the other images of the other SmartCasts will be interspersed between those two main images, which are basically the profile image of me and my wife, who are the representatives of this Familia Curione. So that's how I'm going to restructure it. I'm going to do my best to stick to the short segments, which I'm enjoying. And I just have to kind of get my mind around the idea of grab one issue and just go with it. And don't look at the clock as far as, I'm not trying to do this exactly in 10 minutes. And look, the feedback is already coming back. The feedback is already coming back that people are saying, okay, the short segments are good. The short segments people like. And I'm considering that nothing is really. Essentially, what's changing is simply that my longer programs now become shorter segments. They get divided up, which, they were already divided up into segments. And so I'm just simply now taking advantage of pleasing the audience, because they have been asking for this, and essentially seeing the advantage within the system that I'm working within, because now as I previously mentioned. Now on DTube, because of my learning the system there, the voting system, the rewarding distribution and things of that nature, I am now at a point where the economic strategy that I'm using over on DTube now fits in perfectly with the idea of doing shorter segments and maybe even having more than one segment per day being published. You know, my voting power and the amount of coins that I have and the self-vote that is given, it all turns into a very positive scenario. So the one issue that I just kind of went into my Steemit page and just had a look around, and let's talk about ACOM again. I talked about ACOM in the last session of the Tino Take, and I want to talk about it again because I'm really exploring this. Today is Monday, and Monday is kind of like my financial day where I move things around. I do power-ups. My coins that are in other places. It's kind of so today was the day that I got me some more of my ACOM because I'm building up my own ACOM coins. And I really listen. I'm not a good salesman. I'm not a salesman at all. So I don't know how to sit here and promote ACOM or say, listen, you should this or that. But what I am good at is saying, listen, I'm having a positive experience and explaining and going through that experience. Now, ACOM published ACOM published another post, and it's dealing with the ACOM Community Trading Portfolio Update. Okay, that was a little bit long-winded. And there are more and more things, like ACOM is really becoming more active on Steemit. And so there's a lot of things that I know. I mentioned before, I read the white paper, but it seems like the white paper was something that was old, that was going on. I don't know what happened to the community. They were called exactly before. And so, you know, they've made some changes. They've done some rebranding, and they brought the idea of investing in Steem and, you know, creating a bigger community through the Steemit platform. So there's a lot of things about ACOM that I don't know, but I can tell you this. I have my ACOM coins on, I get them through Steam Engine, right? And it's been a while since most of us have completely abandoned Steam Engine, with the exception of a few communities from the Korean side of things. Most of the Steam Engine, I just don't hear it talked about much anymore. But the value of the ACOM token is very solid. I mean, all people are holding their ACOM tokens. Now, what do you get with these ACOM tokens? Well, what you get is support from the ACOM Steemit profile. They've been giving me a lot of wonderful upvotes. I haven't even been able to use, or I haven't wanted to, but I haven't needed to use my ACOM token. See, what you do is you purchase a particular token, right? And it's called the ACOM DVT, I believe it is. And every 20 of those tokens, you get another type of token which you can use to kind of cash it in and get an upvote from ACOM. But you don't really need to use that because right now the number of holders are small. So ACOM is able to give upvotes, manual upvotes to all of the people who are holding. But not only that, they just gave away some free Steem. They do these kind of events. Each week you get dividends distributed out based on the amount of tokens you are holding in TRX. So, I mean, you're looking at a whole bunch of win situations here. I have tokens that I can cash in if I want to get a 100% upvote from ACOM, which they have 100,000 plus tokens, 100,000 plus Steem power, maybe something like 150,000 or something like that. I don't remember the exact figure, but you know, they have a very powerful upvote. And they give out TRX. They're very, very present. You know, they respond to questions, and there's still a lot. So now I'm looking at this portfolio, and they have a portfolio in which they're holding all kinds of stuff, Steem and Theta and Near. So apparently it's a community that likes to manage different types of tokens as well. But I can tell you on the Steemit platform, they are offering absolutely amazing support and I'm getting it. I'm seeing it happen. So I have no problem plugging them. I have no problem saying, guys, you need to check it out, because at this moment, this is a really good moment to get in on it, because there is a lot of benefit. There's a lot of positivity in being in. And then in the future, we will see where this goes, because there's still a lot that I need to learn. So I'm going to be looking into this portfolio and other things and trying to really, I'm slowly watching this project, participating in the project as far as Steam concerned. But, you know, I might have a look at some of the other things that they're up to, because all of this was not in the white paper. So it's kind of one of those things where you kind of learn as you go along. And as ACOM publishes more things, I will feel more informed. And as I continue to have positive experiences, I will continue to inform you. So here we go. You know, another Tino take. Let's cut it there. Thank you for the support. Thank you for listening. We will catch up soon on some other Smartcasts, and then eventually we will come back around to another Tino take, and we'll see how this restructuring goes. Thanks again for listening. You have a good day.